Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing a review of the RoboCat 270, as you can see here. Now, if you wonder what's going on with my antennas here, coming out here, that's because I flew this just before I was going to review this one last FPV flight before I take it into review, and I was doing a full punch out over the trees, probably about 200 feet up, full climb punch as fast as it could go. And I clipped the top of one, so it fell down and hit the ground. And the antennas, this one actually did rip, but I can fix that. And just basically the zip ties here broke. Other than that, nothing else broke on that crash, so that's just why they're like that. So let's start off what comes in the kit. That I got this one from GearBest. It's a full kit. It comes with the RoboCat frame, as you can see here, and they're also it is carbon fiber. And there are also plastic pieces that are supposed to cover the front and sides, but those didn't work out too well for me. They're not very durable, and it was just a hassle, especially trying to tune the board. It does come with a CC3D board, but I got a defective one, so they sent me a NAS 32 in there. It also comes with ESCs and motors, and the motors it comes with are Mars Power 2204 2300 kV. So nice decent motors, and now this is a 270 size quad, and because of this main body, and just overall it's kind of more like a tanky design. Now for the ESCs, it comes with Emax 12 amp ESCs, so not the best for this size and these motors, because 12 amps is pretty low. However, it was running fine until all of a sudden one flight, about 20 flights in, and I wasn't even doing anything hard. I was just slow flying along beginning of the flight, and one of them decided to go up in smoke, as you can see there. So basically what I did was I just ordered up some Hobby King Blue Series 20 amp ESCs real quick. And I wouldn't really recommend them. They're just so big and heavy. Little B ESCs, actually, they're having sales right now. They're at the same exact price as those, so it's kind of stupid on me. But for an FPV camera, I just have a cheap Banggood one, just one of them cheap little ones. I have it mounted with foam, so it's about a 35-degree angle right now, tilted upwards. And then it comes back. I have the video transmitter strapped under here with zip ties and hot glue. And then the antenna coming off the way antenna. Those are not included. And then I also have a FreeSky D4R2 receiver running PPM up there. And if you couldn't tell, the board obviously is in the top. And then I'm controlling it with my FreeSky Tyrannus awesome radio. And now for the props, right now I am running 6-inch 60/40 props, so 6 inches and 4 inches of pitch. These are actually from the JJRC X1, but I believe they're the exact same ones as some DAL propellers. Let's see, these little foam things come in the kit. Let's see if we focus there. And they just stick right on. And I didn't think they would be very sticky, like they'd stay on, but they actually, they stick on pretty well. I did lose one, but that was in a super hard crash. And now let's see. In terms of batteries, you have to get your own batteries, and these are some of the ones I've used. A 3S nano-tech 45 to 90C, a 3S graphene 65 to 130C, and a 3S nano-tech 1800 65 to 130C. And now this definitely does give you more flight time, and I think this is probably one of the best batteries for this, because tons of power, but because this is 270, it can take the extra, running 6-inch props, it does take the extra weight well, and you don't really notice it at all. For these, you probably got about 7 minutes out of that one, and these two, you probably got about 5 minutes, and I did notice more punch in the graphene, but not more flight time versus standard regular LiPo batteries. And now here, I just threw this in. I just got these for my upcoming ZMRX 210 build as a 4S nano-tech, just because it says you can fit a 4S 2200 in here. But as you can see, even just that doesn't even, I can hardly even squish it in there because I have foam down. So a 4S, I don't really know how you're going to fit it in there unless you find a battery that's more long instead of a fat, chubby one like this one. But let's see, I wouldn't really recommend running a 2200. Now, one of the biggest shortcomings of this frame, while it is durable and it is kind of hard to build, like some of the parts, it's not that intuitive. However, there are some videos online. I did build videos. I'll leave them down below. Parts 1, 2, and 3, building it and basically setting up on Clean Flight. There is no mount or spot for an HD camera. As you can see, there's no spot up here, and you might think up here could be good, but a run cam, as you can see, this is a run cam 2. It doesn't fit in between those plates there. But actually I did check, and my old Mobius, the shell, since it's dead, I checked with just the shell of it. The Mobius does fit in between there, so maybe that's what they wanted. Well, actually, if I squish the plates apart, I can get the run cam in there, but there's no real good way to attach it, and no angle. However, I'll leave some pictures up on the screen right now. I did manage to get some foam strap thing rigged out, but it would come off in a crash, and it wasn't very stable, but it did manage to work. And now I'll be showing some FPV footage on the screen. It flies pretty well. I couldn't really, you'll see in my flight video, the test, I actually ran it on 60/40x3 props, so tri-blades. Those definitely did have more power than these double blades, but I just couldn't get them tuned really well. I couldn't, even with these props, I couldn't get the tune right, and I think that might have to be, my motor shafts might be a little bent off of some crashes and stuff, as well as dirt being in there, because I just couldn't get it quite right like my other ones. And that's not due to the flight controller, so because it's an ACE-32, I don't really know what's up with that. But some things that could be improved, obviously, would probably be the FPV camera mount, the HD camera mount, and just the battery base size. I don't really like having it slid in the middle because it really limits you. But overall, for the price on GearBest, the kit's only like $95. I think it's a very good starter kit. Not the easiest, like I said. Maybe like a ZMR 250 build would be easier for you. But this all-in-one kit does perform pretty well. You'll see my flight video. You may have already seen one of my earlier flight videos. It performs pretty well for the price. So that was the end of the video. I do recommend it, but it's just not for everyone. So stay tuned for the next review, and I'll see you in the next one. So let's go to the flight footage. Okay, here we are for the flight review of the RoboCat 270. For my review here, I've got my Tyrannus powered on. Let's plug in the RoboCat. There we go. Let's get the battery wires out of the way. Okay, so now if I remember, that should be arm, yes. Okay, let's take off here. And now this is pretty much on a stock Lux Float tune. Just it needed a little bit less P and more I. It could still probably do with a little more I right now. But overall, not bad tune for a really quick 2-battery thing. And I'm flying it on everything, all these stock electronics, except for I'm running 20 amp ESCs because one of my 12 amps burn out, and I'm using 60/40 props, tri-blades, Gem Fam ones, so lots and lots of power. See, this thing can get pretty crazy. And it definitely is quieter on these 60/40s than the 50/40s. And the 6-inch, they clear easily. And they definitely do help because this frame's a little heavier. And as well as I'm running a 3S 1800 milliamp hour 65 to 130C nano-tech in there. I found that this 1800 pack just gives you great performance and 7 minutes of flight time. So you can see there, it definitely does need some more tuning right now. These 6-inch props threw it off a little, but I haven't had the time to tune it much yet. Hovering close. You see, it looks really cool. Lots of thrust coming off of that. So let's just put it here and we'll do a full throttle punch. Oh, I don't know if I got it all in shot or not. Hopefully I did. This thing is just a lot of fun, and I don't have FPV gear in it at this moment because I was doing a couple FPV flights and then just randomly my FPV camera died, and I haven't put the new one in yet. but it does fly well FPV, and definitely I go a lot faster with this one than my ZMR 250. A lot more power, a lot more versatile. And now this one is definitely over the 250 gram limit set by the FAA right now. So if you're registering, you will need to register. I have not, but you know, it's just my personal choice. Whoa, that was close. All right, actually, let's put it into horizon mode and do some flips. Almost forgot about flips. And now this is able to flip, but still have self-leveling, so horizon mode's pretty cool. I have a Naze 32 in there. I do need some more D gain, but that's okay. Let's do a funnel here. I've been upping my rate pretty much constantly. The wind's blowing it just a little bit. Oh, my remote's about to die. You can see this thing just for a $95 kit. Then all you have to do is add your propellers, maybe ESCs if you want to go crazy, like I did, and your receiver, radio, and battery, and FPV gear if you want that. I'd say definitely it performs very well for the price. Okay, I think that was good enough. So let's bring it in here, and I will disarm. And I will leave that there. I'm going to unplug it just because I don't want my remote to keep yelling at me. Okay, so there we go. That was my review of the RoboCat 270, the kit sent to me by GearBest. And overall, it is a very good value. I think it's not really super high performance. There's definitely more performance ones and cheap ones out there, but I think it's a very good balance between cheap and performing really well for that. So like I said, it comes with the frame, the motors. It comes with 50-30 props, but I don't know who would use them. Maybe if you're just starting. And ESCs, so it could be a good beginner kit if you're looking to get into build. Check out my build videos down below. But like I said, once again, overall, definitely like this kit. For an experienced pilot like me, it's pretty fun to fly. So there we go. That was my review. Please subscribe if you weren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.